Oh man, it is late night, and I'm sure as many of you know or noticed in my recent uploads, I'm always uploading late at night. That's because I have serious insomnia issues. I just can't get to sleep. And then when I get to sleep, I can't get the fuck up. It's a fucking mess. My therapist thinks I need more stronger meds. I told her to hell with those meds. Those things are trying to turn me into a fat bastard, and I refuse. I liked it better when I was depressed, and I starved myself. People always talk about how good you look when you look like you're dying. They're like, oh wow, you look great. What's your secret? Depression and not eating? That's right, Smokey. He's so sexy. Oh my god. But when you're fat, people just think you're fucking fat and lazy. You could be skinny and lazy, but you don't look lazy because you're skinny. This has nothing to do with the video at hand. This almost seems like something I'd put on my PC build video, which I should do another one of those that is late and behind. Well, anyway, going through the newserinos. Wow. I turned into Ned Flanders. Well, anyway, let's do some lighthearted tech news. Now, if you've been living under a rock, which is quite understandable with the way the country's going and our presidency, I don't blame you. I hope you saved a spot for me. ASUS ROG STRIX 1070 Ti Advanced is coming out. The 1070 Ti is happening. I remember talking about it on forums, and this one guy he says this shit, he says, well, Linus Tech Tips says that the 1080 Ti is a rumor, we shouldn't pay any attention. And I'm like, dude, Linus Tech Tips would shoot you between the fucking eyes if Gigabyte, ASUS, Intel, Nvidia, AMD, anyone who told you to. Linus Tech Tips will lie to your face because he's a corporate shill. I mean, nothing personal. He has to make money. He's got his own little company running. I know, Smokey, for the love of God, let me finish my hateful. He's got his own little company running, so he's got to... Oh, you are such a cunt. So he's got to play by the rules, you know? He can't outwardly go, yeah, the 1080 Ti is happening, because then he'll get in trouble, and he can't get his sample. And if he can't get his sample, he can't put out his review video right on time with all the other review videos of all the other people who are inside the corporation. You know, all the people who are under the umbrella. They all release their videos at the same fucking time and damn near tell you the same shit. And very few of them got the balls to tell you this is bullshit. I really wanted to be like that once. I know this is way off topic, but it's late at night, so I guess I'm in a chatty mood. I really wanted to be a corporate show when I started my channel. And I remember seeing a quote from someone, I can't remember what. I think it was Charlie Brooker from the Weekly Wrap, the Yearly Wrap. It's a British show. And he said something about this guy getting in Parliament. He said, you can't be a man of the people once you're inside the establishment. And I thought, fuck. You know, how the fuck am I supposed to bring about change if I'm on the inside accepting checks? So I made my choice. It probably wasn't the right one. Anyway, so the 1070 Ti is coming out, finally. I mean, everybody knew it was coming. Honest to God, right now, from what they've leaked of the 1070 Ti, which honestly, a lot of the initial leaks were misleading. Some of the leaks were showing the 1070 Ti being way ahead of the normal 1070, right? You're sitting there expecting at least a 30% jump or 20% performance delta jump. But it doesn't actually seem to be the case thus far. Maybe something will change, but everything that's leaking, it doesn't seem that staggeringly amazing. If anything, it seems more like little graphs made to make you think, holy shit, this is amazing. But then when you look at it, it's kind of like, holy shit, who made this graph? Some sort of fucking douchebag? Like the ASUS Republic of Gamers graph, alright? This is priceless. The graph shows this huge blue bar for the 1070 Ti and this tiny red bar for the normal 1070 Ti. And then you look at the frames per second and you got 2 frames. 2.3 frames. So basically the performance delta you gain in 4K at least with the 1070 Ti is 2%. I'm shrugging right now. That's it. It just runs 2% faster than, oh my god, look at these charts, dude. This is, whoever made this chart, I want him to work for me, and I want him to make charts for my channel's growth. That and my penis size, and I want to be able to present that to women. As you can see, I've received 2% growth, and she's like, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that chart looks really big. My income is increased by 2.3%. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that chart looks really big. So basically, it's nothing special here. Oh man. I mean, in a sense, it's like What's the point of the 1070 Ti? In all honesty, if you really had the money, why not just go for the 1080? There's no point. And if you're on a budget, getting the normal 1070 saves you cash. The 1070 Ti is pointless. Honest to God, the whole existence of the 1070 Ti, a lot of people are speculating, is that these are bin 1080 dies, or whatever the fuck you call them, GPUs, you know what I mean. Basically, the bin ones that didn't live up to spec for the normal 1080 got tossed away, and they figured, why not release a 1070 Ti? It's not like AMD's doing anything. And bing, bang, boom. Nvidia just did it. They're making, now it's all money. It's all profit for Pascal. Pascal has done amazingly well for Nvidia. That and the price gouging they did for the Founders Edition, inexcusable. But when AMD is, you know, mother of God. When AMD is pretty much, let's put it this way. AMD's recent Vega cards remind me of the Colin McGregor-Mayweather fight. You know, you're sitting there and the smart money's on Mayweather, but there's a shot Colin McGregor's going to come in there and knock this motherfucker on his ass. But we all know how it was going to turn out anyway. And that's pretty much how AMD's Vega squared up against Pascal. Just watch the Colin McGregor-Mayweather fight. And then instead of just thinking of them, just think of these two companies and go, yeah, okay, I get it now. I mean, really, it's sad, but it's the fucking truth. AMD dropped the ball, and Nvidia will continue to rape us. And Lord knows when Volta drops, from what I'm reading, and a lot of people, you know, all the speculation, you know, if you're on my channel. If Volta drops the way that we're anticipating, it's probably going to be pretty fucking legit. It's a true architectural leap, quotation marks. And yeah, it might be the first graphics cards to come out that do 4K 60. One graphics card, locked. And frankly, I might buy one after I get a better CPU. I could read all of this crap, but you know, that's pretty much it. An official slides provided by Overclockers 3D. ASUS is claiming that the custom card will have a 3.75% faster than Founders Edition, which is also provided to reviewers in Doom and 2% faster in Gears of War. Basically, it's a 2% performance delta, a maximum of 4. Really, nothing too special here. I just don't understand why. Now, there was a lot of talk that there wouldn't be a lot of overclocking headroom on the 1070. Supposedly, speculation back when it was still leaking was that if it got too much overclocking, it could touch a 1080. I guess all those rumors were not true. There seems to still be an issue of overclocking, like there isn't much headroom or something. And there won't be any sort of onboard partner cards with a factory overclock. Therefore, it almost seems, I don't know, I just don't know what the fuck Nvidia is thinking, but when you got all the balls in your court, you can do what the fuck you want. To circumvent this, ZOTAC adds overclocking profiles to FireStorm. Now, this is the way for them to get around the not overclocking the GPU themselves and leaving it up to you, which is perfectly fine to me. But still, unless I'm getting a 10 to 15% performance jump, then I really wouldn't care about the 1070 Ti. I would just get a 1080. Overclocking utility known as FireStorm does not have built-in OC for gaming and silent profiles like Afterburner GPU Tweak. To overcome Nvidia's restrictions disallowing board partners from providing factory overclocks out of the box, such profiles are the only logical solution. While FireStorm does not have such built-in profiles, it does support custom profiles by users. ZOTAC figured that it would be easy if they just provided those profiles so customers can apply them manually. Pretty sweet. I like that. Simple, straightforward, not everybody's an overclocking god. And I'm pretty sure ZOTAC will probably do modest overclocks. You know, at least you don't have to pay for it this time, you know? Sometimes you see like 150 megahertz overclock and cocksuckers want $50. I think this would be a great solution that all board partners should fucking take a part of, so that way you could buy a graphics card, put in a simple overclock, and not have to pay them for fucking overclocking out of the box for so little, which is my personal opinion. So that's cool if you're really hell-bent on a 1070 Ti. Apparently the Vega 64 is now $499 off Newegg, so that's an alternative to a 1070 Ti. But isn't the 1080 cheaper? So once again, the 1080 is the better buy. I really don't understand what the appeal is for this, but maybe I'm missing something in the past couple days. In other news, some more lighthearted stuff. Well, everything here is lighthearted. Who really gives a shit? First world problems, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like we're going out for a bucket of water. And walking 3 miles in the goddamn desert, having to remember the sways and the sand dunes. I don't know. I saw some black chicks doing this on Netflix. They're like water getters. I know this has nothing to do with like tech, but they have to walk for miles and they have to remember what the sand dunes look like to find the well, or else they'll die. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here bitching about ZOTAC. Doing fucking overclocking profiles to save you some money. Oh my god, I'm going to Jewish hell. Anyway, AMD's Threadripper 1950X is now at a lower cost. It happened about 5 days ago. The new MSRP, I think, is around $870. This was awesome 5 days ago. See, the funny thing is, in doing this, alright, here's the downside. If you didn't jump on it when it first launched at that price, then go fuck yourself, because a whole lot of other people did. And now all these websites like Amazon, Newegg, Superbits, Blizz, Micro Center, all of them are selling the Ryzen CPU damn near for the original price. I think the cheapest seller of it is Micro Center at $899. It's supposed to be $879, but I guess that's the suggested retail price. And you know all these retail stores can't fucking help themselves with AMD shit or computer components at all right now. They sniff a little extra profit, and I'll be damned if they don't gouge it out of you. Oh god, capitalism. It's so fun, isn't it? Well, anyway, AMD's Threadripper platform represents the company's highest end consumer offerings, offering tremendous amount of value for the money when it comes to pure CPU performance and PCIe connectivity. That is undeniable. I will say that Ryzen's Threadripper 1950X is a great CPU. The biggest hurdle is the fucking software. I'll probably chalk it towards onboard partners. Even ASUS is having trouble. It's real hit or miss between Gigabyte, ASUS, etc. Some BIOSes don't work, some do. Some MOBOs will let you use 128 gigabytes of RAM, others won't. This is only an issue if you're going to have a crazy workstation build. If you don't see yourself going past 64 gigabytes of RAM, then the possibility of a couple DIMM slots not working might not affect you. But on the other hand, it may just, and then you're fucked, especially if you find out late in the game, you know? It would suck a lot of dick to have a Threadripper build and you slowly put in RAM. You finally get your 128 gigabytes of RAM as you go. Let's say you can only spend like $200 every 2 months or so. And then you find out, oh well, you know, some of your DIMMs didn't work. It was a BIOS problem, but you did buy the motherboard about a year ago, so warranty's up, sucky dick faggot. But I could be wrong. Anyway, on the plus side though, this price drop is tremendous. In all honesty, Threadripper is awesome. And I will say that the Intel 7900X is pretty legit too. And I'll also say this in Intel's favor: it just works like Todd Howard says. In comparison, Ryzen takes a little more work. But on the other hand, if you don't mind getting your hands dirty, you don't mind learning something, you don't mind spending time figuring out the bugs and subtle nuances of the damn computer, Threadripper will be an awesome fucking build for any content creator. And at this price point, it's unbeatable. Yes, the high-end 7920X E is what, $2,000, and it does beat Threadripper, but is it worth that extra $1,200? That's money that you could build the rest of your fucking computer with. I don't know, just food for thought. In the long run, this is still the best price to performance, and I will admit I do prefer Intel's strong CPU core performance, single core I mean. From a perspective of someone who ain't rich, Threadripper's the way to go. I'm considering buying one, if I can get the damn money together. I guess this is also due to the yields being so good for Threadripper. That's why they can afford this sort of price leeway. I wonder if Intel will respond. I highly doubt it though. In other news, ASUS creates an Assassin's Creed Origins themed GTX 1080 Ti GPU. At first, I was like, fuck this. And then I got to look at it and I was just like, okay, this is legit. I mean, I like the look of it. I don't care about Assassin's Creed Origin, but the backplate alone with the Egyptian hieroglyphs is pretty fucking dank, as the kids say.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
I wouldn't mind putting that shit in my rig. I mean, I like it. I really do. And it comes with a free copy of Assassin's Creed. I'm not really a fan of Ubisoft games, but at least it comes with a game. But on the other hand, there's only going to be 500 made, so limited quantities. It'll be special edition. It'll probably cost a fuck ton of money. So the fun factor flies right out the goddamn window unless you have limitless sources of funds. Intel's new 10 nanometer CPUs will be in short supply until 2018. Intel might have launched the Core 8700K and the 7980XE. I was close, I got the name wrong. Flagship processors for the Z370 and X299 platforms, but the company will be releasing some form of 10 nanometer CPUs next year, with volume productions, new SKUs in second half of 2018. Intel's boss says we are on track to ship our first low-volume 10 nanometer part by the end of the year. During Intel's recent earnings call, he said that the company will be increasing 10 nanometer productions in the first part of 2018, with high volume and system availability in the second half of 2018. So I guess it's going to start with Coffee Lake, some form of a new Coffee Lake refresh, or whatever the fuck, for the 10 nanometer at the beginning. And then they'll move on to Ice Lake, the true architectural leap for them as well. So we'll finally get away from the whole Skylake thing. Ice Lake will probably be their real answer to Ryzen. Here's hoping it's decent and it's decently priced and it won't be another butt raping. But Intel had better hurry because Ryzen 2 is coming at that time, if all goes well for AMD, which I think it might, just because their CPU division is on the fucking money. See, here we go. Even Tweaktown says it. This means we can expect a 10 nanometer CPU released this year with a new Cannon Lake CPU family to make an appearance on the low end SKU. At first, we should see super limited supplies of the 10 nanometer process, which could be reactions to Qualcomm's impending release of the 10 nanometer node, sending Intel scurrying to get 10 nanometer off the ground. Intel's been struggling with 10 nanometer forever now, it feels like to me. I mean, it really does. It's been a long time with this 10 nanometer bullshit. It's probably why they keep doing these refreshes of Skylake. And on the other hand, IBM, I could have sworn, did 10 nanometer nodes a while ago. And I Googled it only to find IBM's already moved on to a new 5 nanometer architecture, cramming 30 billion transistors into a fingernail-sized chip. And this was published by New Atlas on June 5th of 2017 by Michael Irving. I then sat there and said, fucking A, dude. The smallest and most advanced chips currently commercially available are made up of transistors with gates about 10 nanometers long. But IBM has now unveiled plans to cut them in half to create 5 nanometer chips. The company is ditching the standard FinFET architecture in favor of a new structure build, with a stack of 4 nanosheets allowing some 30 billion transistors to be packed into a single chip-sized fingernail, promising significant gains in power and efficiency. Wowzers, IBM's still in the computer game, still kicking. Well, we all know that. You know, for those who are older, or I should say for those who are younger, IBM used to make computers. You know, it used to be Gateway computers, Dell computers, IBM computers. AMD used to make bargain bin computers, probably. I don't think they do anymore. Who else? Fuck, I'm forgetting some other ones. Oh my god. But there used to be a whole bunch of computer manufacturers. IBM used to be one of the biggest ones. They were like fighting with Apple and shit, and Macintosh. Then, I don't know, IBM kind of like just moved away from, you know, making consumer computers. And now they just do parts or something. I could be wrong. I should delve deeper into it, but fucking A, it's 4 a.m. Oh, that's right. PCIe 4.0 spec released. PCIe 5.0 follows in 2019. PCIe SIG, the organization behind PCIe standards, has released a finalized specs for PCIe 4.0 with some highlights that impress. We have up to 16 gigabytes of bandwidth with PCIe 4.0, up from 8 gigabytes of bandwidth offering PCIe 3.0. But it's PCIe 5.0. It's PCIe 5.0 that has Tweaktown's mouth-watering with a huge 32 gigabytes of bandwidth, and it will arrive in 2019. PCIe, every time one iteration comes out, it doubles what the last iteration did. That's how it works. And what's really weird is how fast technology is progressing. I mean, the last time PCIe was like 2010. It took 7 years to get to PCIe 4.0. And now PCIe 5.0 is on the horizon. And let's just be real here. When will PCIe 4.0 be implemented into motherboards? You know, like, I'm curious. For real. As a consumer who's interested in that next level, because we're going to need this sort of fucking bandwidth moving if we want to do 4K, and some people are talking about 8K, but at that point 8K televisions and stuff like that, it'll be diminishing returns. Your eyes won't even be able to see it. I know. You probably sit there and go, that's they said about 60 FPS, but you know what? You want to pay that much money for 8K? Fucking go ahead. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying. But anyway, 4.0 was supposed to come out like what? Last year? It's supposed to be an industry standard last year. I was waiting for it. It never happened. Now they're saying 4.0 is ready. Will it be in motherboards? Also, 4.0. The caveat is what graphics card manufacturers will adopt 4.0. That's the question. Like 4.0, here's the thing. 4.0, the PCIe will be backward compatible with 3.0. All right, so you got 4.0, but you have like, let's say the 2080 from Nvidia is out and it's 3.0 and you have a 4.0 motherboard. You can still use it perfectly fine. But if motherboard manufacturers make the leap too soon, a lot of people will be left in the dust because 3.0 will not be backwards compatible or upward compatible, whatever the fuck you call it, with 4.0 graphics cards. So there's that sort of weird pendulum swing right there. And I bet my fucking nuts that if 4.0 does get implemented in future motherboards, that there be a premium for a 4.0 graphics card. Like, God, would that suck? You got your 4.0 set up, you got your new Intel or AMD chip, you're ready to fucking rock your cock out, and then you're looking at your graphics card, okay, and then you see like it's $150 to $200 more for a 4.0 supported graphics card. I wouldn't put it past, Nvidia one bit. I mean, it's all speculation on my end. I'm just saying. There's a lot of holes. It's like I want 4.0 to happen, but I do realize for 4.0 to happen, there's going to be a lot of hurdles and a lot of growing pains for people. And on that note, seriously, I shall get the fuck out of here because I didn't really cover all the ins and outs of 4.0. I figure most people know, and if you really care, you'll probably check it out. As I said, with PCIe, every generation doubles. So there you go. It's pretty simple. If 3.0 was 8 gigabytes, 4.0 is going to be 16, 5.0 was going to be 32, 6.0 is going to be 64 gigabytes. So, it's not too hard. It's easy math, even for a blockhead like me. Oh man, this shit will be sick for VR, dude. I'm telling you, 4.0 and 5.0, that's when VR is really going to be. Dude, imagine the VR porn. Oh my fucking Christ. You won't need a girlfriend anymore, dude. I'll be dead. I'll be fucking dead. They'll come to my house. The cat will be eating me. There he is. He autoerotic asphyxiated off of too much VR pornography. Don't put it on, Charlie. The things he was watching were too sexy. No human man could be that stimulated and live. Thanks, O'Malley. I almost bit the big one. Yet for some reason, the cops that come to find my body will be transported from the 1940s noir movie scene for police and detectives. So yeah, makes a lot of sense. Alright, the whole spiel. I can't actually give more of a shit than me. Rate, comment, subscribe if you so give a dog's dick. If not, to hell with it. Who really cares, right, in the grand scheme of things? Tomorrow's another day, another bill to pay, and some other rhyming words. But if you do decide to support me, just know that you're following me on social media, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. I have that. I don't really post much on it because I never remember to. Not too many people follow me on it, so it's like, what the fuck am I going to do there? But anyway, in so doing it makes my voice louder. It makes me less likely to be ignored by companies. And remember, Gundam can't be bought because he's not for sale. And nobody's buying, so yeah, that's a big thing too.